God's blessings go far beyond money or success. The real blessings change your heart, open new doors, and give your life true purpose. These changes aren't just on the surface, they reach into who you really are. But how can you tell when God is truly blessing you? There are clear signs that show His favor in your life. When God blesses you, you'll feel an amazing peace inside. This peace doesn't mean you have no problems. Instead, it means God is with you during your problems. The storms of life might still rage around you, but in your heart you'll feel steady and calm. This peace goes beyond what makes sense. It keeps you strong when life tries to knock you down. God's blessing works like a shield for your heart. It gives you strength to stay peaceful during uncertain times. Even when you can't see what's ahead, you can rest knowing God is guiding you. This peace is a gift from God, a sign that He is with you and that you won't face challenges alone. The first sign of God's blessing might seem strange. You feel alone. This isolation happens before God lifts you up. When you feel cut off from others, it could mean God is preparing you for something bigger. He sometimes pulls you away from distractions so He can work in your life more clearly. This alone time isn't punishment. It's preparation. God uses these quiet moments to speak to you and ready you for what's coming next. Your time of feeling alone is often the step right before a major breakthrough in your life. Don't fight against these seasons of isolation. They come before elevation. The second sign is that everything in your life seems to be taking longer than expected. What looks like delay is actually God's perfect timing. When things don't happen as quickly as you want, it doesn't mean God has forgotten you. It means He's setting up something better than what you imagined. God's timing is never late and never early. It's always right. The job that didn't come through, the relationship that didn't work out, the plan that fell apart. These aren't failures. They're God protecting you from what wasn't right for you. When His blessing does arrive, you'll see why you had to wait. His delays have purpose. He might be building your character, closing wrong doors, or lining up the right people to help you. What feels like wasted time is actually God working behind the scenes. Trust that when He finally says now, it will be at exactly the right moment. The third sign of God's blessing is that you begin to let go. Things that once upset you don't bother you anymore. People's opinions stop controlling your choices. You find yourself less attached to how things should be and more open to God's plan, whatever it looks like. This emotional detachment isn't about not caring. It's about finding freedom from what used to hold you back. You stop clinging to old hurts, past mistakes, and rigid plans. Instead, you open your hands and heart to what God wants to give you, even if it's different from what you expected. When God blesses you, you worry less about controlling everything. You trust more in His guidance. This letting go creates space in your life for new blessings to arrive. As you release your grip on your own ideas, God can place His better plans in your open hands. Life throws hard challenges at us. Money problems, health issues, broken relationships, work stress, personal losses. During these times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and afraid. But when God blesses you, His peace becomes your safe place. His peace surrounds you like a shield, protecting your heart and mind. This peace doesn't make problems disappear. Instead, it changes how you face them. It helps you rise above the noise and confusion. It gives you clarity to make decisions with confidence and faith. God's peace gives you inner strength to face each day, knowing you're not alone. He's with you through every trial. His peace anchors you during storms. It reminds you that God controls everything, even when your life feels out of control. This peace shows that God is really with you. It assures you that He walks beside you through every hard time. When you're afraid or doubtful, His peace tells you that you don't have to carry heavy burdens alone. You can rest knowing God works for you, even when you can't see the solution. His peace reminds you that He is bigger than any problem you face. With His help, you can handle the hardest situations with grace and strength. This peace changes how you see life. Instead of reacting with stress, you respond with faith and trust. You learn that peace isn't just a feeling that comes and goes. It's a way of living that comes from knowing who you are in God and trusting His promises. When you have this peace, other people notice it. They see the calm in your spirit, the steadiness in your behavior, and the hope in your eyes. During hard times, God's peace reminds you powerfully that He is with you. It shows you that you're not alone and that no matter what you face, He will give you strength to endure. When you feel this overwhelming peace, know it's not just a feeling, it's a gift from God, a sign of His love and constant presence in your life. When God blesses you, opportunities appear that weren't there before. Doors that seemed locked tight suddenly swing open. It happens in ways you couldn't have planned, the connections you never expected, the jobs you thought were out of reach, the chances that seemed impossible. We all have times when we feel stuck, when we've tried everything but nothing works. We wonder if our dreams are too big, or if we deserve good things at all. That's when God steps in and opens doors we could never open ourselves. It's not because of our own efforts, but because of God's kindness that these opportunities appear. When God opens a door, you'll know it's right for you. You'll walk through and feel His favor on your life. You'll know this opportunity was made just for you and your purpose. Often these chances come in surprising ways. People enter your life to help you. Career doors open. Paths clear that were blocked before. God's blessings follow His perfect timing, which we can't always understand. When the right moment comes, you'll recognize it. These opportunities bring clarity and peace that confirm they aren't accidents. They're part of God's plan for your life. Through His help, your path becomes clear and your purpose sharper. Each open door brings responsibility. It's an invitation to step up and take bold action that follows God's will for your life. When you walk through these doors, you enter new opportunities and a deeper level of purpose. You may not have all the answers, but God will give you everything you need to succeed. When God opens doors, it shows He's positioning you for greater things. He's working for you, arranging events in ways you couldn't have predicted. He knows what you want, and at the right time, He makes paths where there seemed to be none. These breakthroughs show God's faithfulness and love. They remind you that you're never alone. As doors open, trust God's timing. Have faith that when one door closes, it makes way for better doors He's preparing. Some doors close for good reasons, but the ones He opens are full of purpose and possibility. They lead to places of greater fulfillment and blessing. Walk through them boldly, knowing each opportunity shows God's goodness. These open doors aren't just for you, they're chances to serve, grow, and impact others. As you walk through them, remember you're walking with God's favor. Let your faith guide you, knowing that with each step, God leads you closer to your purpose. The opportunities He creates for you are better than anything you could have imagined yourself. When God blesses you, He changes who you are, not just what you have. While many people think blessings mean wealth or success, God's true blessings go much deeper. They change you from the inside out. They shape you to become more like Him and match your life with His will. One clear sign of God's blessing is growing patience. Life with its challenges often pulls us toward impatience and frustration. We want quick results and struggle when things take time. But when God blesses you, He builds patience in you. Patience isn't just waiting, it's waiting with grace and peace, trusting God's timing is perfect. With patience, you understand that good things take time. Some of the greatest blessings develop slowly, and trusting God during the wait shows real faith. Along with patience, God's blessings increase your kindness. In a world focused on self-interest, Kindness can seem rare. But as God blesses you, He softens your heart and expands your ability to be kind. You begin to see people as God sees them, valuable and deserving of care. Kindness becomes your attitude, not just your action. Whether offering encouragement, helping others, or listening with care, God's blessing helps you show His love through how you treat people. God's blessing also grows your capacity for love, both for Him and others. He teaches you to love deeply, not just those who are easy to love, but also those who hurt you. God's love has no conditions, and when blessed by Him, you begin to show that same love. You learn that love isn't just feeling, but decision and action, choosing to care for others first and forgive as God forgives. God's blessings also develop humility, self-control, and faithfulness in you. Humility helps you see that your successes come from God's grace, not just your efforts. As you recognize everything as His gift, humility becomes natural. Instead of seeking praise, you give God credit for all good things. Self-control becomes another fruit of God's blessing. In a culture that wants everything now, self-control helps you make choices that honor God, even when your feelings pull another way. Through His blessings, God gives strength to resist temptation and live right. As you grow in self-control, you find deeper peace as your life matches His will rather than your desires. Finally, God's blessings build faithfulness in you. As He shows favor, He increases your trust in His promises. You see, He keeps His word, and you become more faithful to Him. Faithfulness means serving, loving, and trusting God even when things get hard. It means staying committed to your purpose no matter what obstacles appear. This character growth isn't instant, but lifelong. God shapes and refines you, gradually making you someone who reflects His image and love. Through this growth, you not only receive blessings, but become a blessing to others. Your life shows His goodness, and your actions reflect His grace. When God blesses you, He doesn't just give things, He gives growth that makes you more like Christ. This growth in patience, kindness, love, humility, self-control, and faithfulness is the greatest blessing of all. It changes your life and touches everyone around you, drawing them toward God's love. When God blesses you, He changes what you want most. In a world pushing us toward success and wealth, it's easy to chase things that don't truly satisfy. But God's blessings turn your focus from worldly achievements to something much deeper, His purpose for your life. As His blessings unfold, you realize true fulfillment doesn't come from success or possessions. It comes from living according to God's plan. Things you once thought would satisfy you, fame, money, recognition, pale compared to the joy and peace that come from serving God and following His will. You start to see that God's purpose isn't just about what you do, but who you become. When you match your desires with His, your life gains meaning that no worldly achievement can provide. God's plan for you is often greater than anything you could design yourself. When His blessings shape your path, you find it's not about personal success, but serving others and advancing His kingdom. This new view brings satisfaction beyond what the world offers, a fulfillment from knowing your life matters eternally, not just temporarily. Following God's purpose lets you see how He uses your gifts and experiences to help others and honor Him. Your desires start to reflect His heart. You stop chasing fleeting things and pursue what lasts forever: love, kindness, justice, and compassion. Your priorities change, and you find joy in serving others and making real impact. This satisfaction comes not from the world's praise, but from knowing you're fulfilling God's unique call on your life. Matching your desires with His purpose brings peace and direction. Life often feels uncertain, but when you're following God's purpose, you know you're exactly where you should be. The road won't always be easy, but you have clear purpose and direction, knowing each step aligns with His will. Even during challenges, you find comfort knowing you're in God's plan, and He walks with you. His blessings help you understand what living your purpose really means, not just achieving personal dreams, but bringing glory to God and helping others. You see that everything you do, in work, relationships, or service, fits into God's bigger plan. This changes everything. It turns every task, no matter how small, into a chance to serve Him. Life's challenges become growth opportunities, not just obstacles. You focus less on things that fade and more on things with eternal importance. The passing things of this world lose their appeal as you find joy in what truly matters: loving God, loving others, and serving in His name. This is the beauty of following God's purpose. It forms the foundation of your desires into something lasting. When God blesses you, He leads you to true fulfillment, not through worldly success, but through life lived according to His will. When God blesses you, you experience satisfaction beyond what material wealth or success can give. Many people chase money, status, or achievements thinking these will fulfill them, but God's blessings offer deeper, lasting contentment. This fulfillment doesn't depend on your bank account, car, or achievements. It comes from knowing you have God's favor, your life matches His purpose, and you're exactly where He wants you. Money provides temporary comfort, but can't fill our deep need for purpose, meaning, and peace. It may bring momentary pleasure, but not the lasting joy of living according to God's will. The more you chase success without God, the emptier you may feel despite appearing successful. The truth is, wealth never satisfies your soul's deepest parts. Only God can do that. When blessed by God, you understand that true fulfillment comes from following Him. This satisfaction doesn't depend on circumstances, but on peace, purpose, and joy from living by God's plan. Nothing satisfies more than fulfilling the purpose you were created for. There you find peace beyond understanding, joy the world can't take away, and contentment not based on possessions. God's blessings bring satisfaction from being in the right place at the right time, walking His path. This fulfillment doesn't come from proving yourself or seeking approval, but from knowing God sees you, loves you, and has a plan for you. When you live according to His will, you find deep contentment that life's ups and downs can't shake. God's blessings teach that fulfillment isn't about getting more, but using what you have to serve Him and others. This change in thinking frees you. When you view your wealth, time, talents, and resources as gifts to manage for His glory, you find deeper satisfaction. The joy from serving others, living with integrity, and making positive impact far outweighs the temporary pleasure of possessions. This fulfillment exceeds material wealth because it's not tied to changing possessions. Money comes and goes and creates constant desire for more, but fulfillment from God's blessings lasts forever. It doesn't fade, require constant striving, or depend on your bank account or appearance of success. It comes from walking in God's favor, trusting His guidance, and knowing He's given everything you need for a meaningful life. As you grow closer to God, you see that life's greatest blessings aren't held in hands but kept in hearts. The love, peace, joy, and purpose from God's blessings far exceed what money buys. This fulfillment comes from trusting God's goodness, surrendering your desires, and living obediently while serving others. God's blessings free you from chasing fleeting success and material gain. They focus you on what truly matters: loving God, loving others, and living out His grace and truth. True fulfillment comes not from possessions, but from becoming who you should be as you follow God's will, serve Him and others, and live your God-designed purpose. God's blessings bring peace and contentment nothing else offers. When you know you're centered in God's plan, exactly where He wants you, you experience fulfillment beyond understanding. It runs deeper than wealth, richer than success, and lasts longer than anything this world gives. This fulfillment, rooted in God's love and purpose for your life, is the greatest blessing of all.
You didn't find this message by chance. It is part of something far greater. Have you ever felt different, like the world couldn't quite understand you? That deep sense of being set apart wasn't random. It was God's way of preparing you for a purpose beyond what you could imagine. C.S. Lewis profoundly said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Think back to your life. As a child, did you feel older than your years, carrying a wisdom that set you apart? Yet now, as you have grown, do you sense a renewed energy and purpose that feels almost supernatural? Those struggles, doubts, and fears you faced weren't there to break you. They were designed to refine you, to mold you into the person God intended you to be. Today, we are diving into the unique journey of the chosen ones, those like you who carry wisdom in youth but find strength and renewal as they grow. We will uncover how the chaos of your past was part of a divine plan. These experiences have transformed you into someone who reflects God's presence and purpose. This is more than insight. It is the confirmation you have been waiting for, the missing piece to your story. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear could change the way you see your life forever. There's something about you, something that has always set you apart from the very beginning. You carried the weight of the world in your eyes, even when you were young. There was a maturity, an inner wisdom that shone through your being, but it wasn't always understood. People looked at you, wondering why someone so young appeared to have lived through lifetimes of struggle. You weren't like your peers. You didn't laugh as easily. You didn't fit into the mold the world had shaped for you. And it left you feeling out of place, like you were searching for something you couldn't name. As C.S. Lewis eloquently expressed, we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy. The most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. Many of you, the chosen ones, struggled with anxiety, fear, and even addiction. You tried to fill the void with things that couldn't satisfy the deep longing in your soul. The world around you was loud, chaotic, and you were always trying to find your footing, your style, your identity. It shifted like the wind. One day you wanted to be bold and seen. The next, you wanted to disappear. You carried the burden of feeling too much, too deeply. Friends your age couldn't grasp the depths of what you were going through. And your family, often they were just as lost in understanding you. Felt lonely, didn't it? You wore the weight of those years on your face, your body. The confusion, the battles with yourself, the constant misunderstandings etched themselves into your skin. You may have looked older than your age, as if the soul inside you was showing itself on the outside before its time. You saw this, didn't you? In the mirror, you felt like you were living a life far beyond your years, tired before you even had the chance to truly live. There was a time when many of you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the reflection staring back. You felt disconnected from your own appearance, as if you weren't enough. Like the person you saw didn't match the beauty you hoped for, or the strength you longed to embody. You didn't eat the right foods, maybe because you didn't care enough to nourish yourself, or perhaps you didn't know how. Your body didn't feel like home. It was a source of discomfort, a reminder of how far you felt from where you wanted to be. You knew deep down you weren't meant to be like everyone else, yet the desire to fit into a box, to be accepted, lingered in your heart. You wanted to be seen, to belong, even if that meant trying to mold yourself into something that wasn't truly you. Clothes never felt right, no matter what you wore, because you were never at peace with yourself. They clung too tight in some places, hung too loose in others, mirroring how you felt inside. Uncomfortable, misplaced, and misunderstood. But all along, something deeper was stirring, a call to rise above, to step into who you were always meant to be. But God has always had his hand on you. Even in those dark, chaotic years when you felt lost, he was guiding you, molding you through the fire of obstacles, shaping you for a purpose far greater than you could see. You were chosen, beloved, though it didn't always feel that way. He let you walk through the storms because he knew what was waiting on the other side. And over time, something began to shift. Slowly, you started to find yourself. You learned to quiet the noise, to listen to the whispers of God within your soul. You realized that this body, this vessel, was not to be neglected or abused. You began to care for it, not out of vanity, but out of respect for what God had given you. You started nourishing it, not just with food and exercise, but with peace, with stillness, with love. The battles you once fought within your mind and heart began to fade. The confusion that once clouded your identity started to clear, and in its place calmness, clarity, and in its place calmness, clarity, and a sense of self-immersion. As C.S. Lewis beautifully expressed, you don't have a soul. You are a soul. You are a body. The anxiety that had once gripped you, the fear that had once gripped you, the fear that had held you back, it all started to lose its power. You stopped looking for external things to fill the void, and instead you let God fill you with his grace, his strength, his purpose. And something remarkable happened. You began to look younger. The face that once showed the stress of trying to be everything the world wanted now glows with the peace of knowing who you are in God's eyes. The body that once carried the weight of confusion and turmoil now moves with grace and confidence. Your style isn't all over the place anymore. It's simple, it's authentic, it reflects the peace within you. You are not hiding behind trends or expectations. You are wearing the beauty of knowing yourself, and more importantly, knowing God. People see you now, and they notice something different. You are calm, unshaken by the world's chaos. There's a glow about you, a softness that only comes from someone who has walked through the fire and emerged purified. Your energy is magnetic, but not in the loud attention seeking way of the world. It's quiet, powerful, grounded in something deeper than flesh and bone. It's the light of God shining through you. You once felt misunderstood, like no one saw you for who you truly were. Now you don't seek to be understood by everyone, because you know that not everyone is meant to walk your path. You've found peace in being set apart, in being chosen. The chosen ones, after all, are not here to blend in with the world. They are here to transform it. You may still feel different, but now you wear that difference with pride, with honor. You know that God has placed something within you that the world needs, even if it doesn't yet realize it. Yes, the journey wasn't easy. It took time. There were days when the burden felt too heavy, when the anxiety felt like it would swallow you whole. But through every moment, God was with you. He saw your tears, your struggles, your moments of doubt, and he whispered, "Hold on, I am making something beautiful out of your pain." And now, here you are, standing in the glow of that transformation. As you've transformed, people around you have begun to notice. Some are drawn to your newfound peace, your glowing presence, and they admire the strength and beauty that radiates from within. They see the change, and it inspires them, but not everyone responds with kindness. Some are envious of your growth, threatened by the light that now shines from you. They may try to tear you down, to diminish the glow you've worked so hard to cultivate, but they can't touch it. The strength you carry is from God, and the glow of a good soul cannot be destroyed by envy or malice. It is a divine light that stands strong against any attempt to dim it. What they don't understand is that your transformation isn't just physical. It's spiritual. God's hand is on you, and no force can break what He has built within you. As we sit here now, in the presence of who we have become, we glance back at the images of our younger selves. We sift through those old photos, the ones we used to shy away from, the ones that once made us cringe or feel small. But now, something's different. We see beauty in those faces, in those fragile bodies. We see strength in the eyes of the child or the young adult we used to be, how blind we were to the beauty that was always there, wrapped in innocence, cloaked in the struggle of finding ourselves. We look at those photos now, and the tears that fill our eyes are no longer from a place of shame or regret, but from love. How could we not have seen it back then? The beauty that radiated from us, even in our confusion, even in when we thought we were lost. We see now how brave we were, standing in the middle of a world that never understood us. But still, we kept moving, we kept trying, and that's where the beauty lived, not in the perfection of the surface, but in the strength that carried us through each day, despite the weight we were bearing on the inside. We were so young, so fragile, and yet so strong. Those little bodies, those innocent minds, they knew nothing, yet they carried us through everything. The fears we battled, the anxiety that wrapped itself around us, like a suffocating blanket, and still we got up each day. We wore masks, not to deceive others, but to protect ourselves from the judgment we feared. We thought the world saw right through us, but what we didn't know was that, even then, God saw us for who we truly were. He saw the beauty we couldn't see in ourselves, and He stayed with us, guiding us. As we move forward, there is peace in our hearts, a peace that whispers, "You are enough." We were always enough. We were always enough in His eyes, even in our weakest, most broken moments. And now, as we take each step, we carry love with us. Love for where we have been, love for where we are now, and love for the unknown future that awaits. Each step is part of His divine plan, a plan greater than our understanding, intricately woven into the fabric of our existence. We walk not with hesitation, but purpose, knowing that every triumph and every failure was ordained to bring us closer to Him. We are proud, not with arrogance, but with humble gratitude, proud of the strength it took to survive the darkest nights, proud of the courage to stand tall, despite the weight of doubt, and proud of the journey still ahead, no matter how uncertain it may seem. For those still fighting their inner battles, who look in the mirror and fail to recognize the beauty staring back, know this: you are not alone. The strength you need is already within you, planted there by the One who knows every part of you. The beauty you cannot see is already shining, waiting for you to embrace it. Take heart, for you are more resilient than you can imagine, more beautiful than the world has led you to believe, and more loved than you will ever comprehend. God is with you. He has always been with you. He has always been with you, even when you felt lost, even when the silence seemed overwhelming. His hands have never left your side. One day you will look back on this moment, just as we are doing now. You will see the strength that carried you through, the courage that kept you standing, and the beauty that was there all along. You will see how every scar was a testimony of survival, how every tear was counted, and how every struggle prepared you for the glory He has in store. On that day, you will stand proud, not because the journey was easy, but because it was worth it. Proud of who you were in your weakest moments. Proud of who you are now, standing stronger and wiser, proud of the person you are becoming, a reflection of God's grace and love. And that pride, that unshakable assurance of your worth in His eyes, is something no one can ever take away from you. You are His forever and always, and that is the greatest truth of all. So walk forward with your head high, knowing that you are exactly who He created you to be, and that is more than enough.